Hello peoples, I'm going to show you how I wired my power mirrors on my Civic 9600 spec. So I tried to look for a video of this once when I got these mirrors and I didn't find a whole lot. I just saw somebody showing them functioning, and there are a bunch of diagrams on how to make this work online, but anyways, I'll show you how I did it. And don't mind the mess, we are under construction. So my switch is the one without the built-in relay. It's a single row. There's the relay I have mounted. Looks like spaghetti right now, but it'll be clean, I promise. All right, so my biggest thing is you have to add 2 wires from each mirror to this area. And I wanted to figure out how am I gonna add 2 wires in the cleanest possible fashion. I didn't want 2 loose wires. I didn't want just to run a wire somehow through here, which wasn't disconnectable. I want it to be functional. So this video is mostly just to show you the cleanest possible way to do this without, I'm talking about clean, to do it without having a factory harness. So on the passenger door over here in the factory service manual, it shows just 3 wires, right? But the actual harness has 5 wires, which kind of baffled me and drove me nuts until I took the harness apart down to that guy and I peeled, I looked at both sides. There are 2 extra wires going into the connector, and on the opposite side, the removable, this side, there's nothing opposing. So that was nice because there's already 2 wires here. On this side, driver's side, there was not 2 wires extra. And the way I went about that, adding the 2 wires to the mirror, was I got a factory door harness. This right here. Here's a factory door harness and from the junkyard, and I removed, from end to end, from this end to that end, I have 2 wires. Now, the issue with this is it's from the same car, and these wires are going to be the same colors what I got going on, but makes it not perfect to have multiple same colored wires that have different jobs. But anyways, if you really want to get crazy, then you got to find the factory pins and some proper wire that's a different color. But depinning this isn't as hard as I once thought, but you have to pop up this lock right here, just like on an ECU, stick something in there and pop it up. Then you will have the ability to stick your pin depinning tool in there, and it's fairly straightforward. Stick it close to the pin on this side. Sorry about that, but anyways, you know how to depin stuff, right? Otherwise you're not doing this, right? One time I tried this when I was a noob, and I was like, it's impossible because of all the grease in there, and I just didn't know, but it is very possible, not too hard. So I removed 2 wires from that clip to this clip right here. This one you have to kind of pry that apart like that on both sides, and then pop up like this, and that is how you unlock the pins. First step to unlocking the pins, right? And then you have to depin it. So on this harness, I removed it completely, and then totally removed all the loom and zip ties and everything else, and I added 2 wires to it. This is my tape. Add 2 wires to the whole loom, and then I took pictures before and everything like that, because I made sure this was in the this zip tie clip was in the same place. Anyways, for the factory feels. And boom. There's that. So there's 2 extra wires there. And okay, now on the opposing side, let me explain a little bit more. In the factory service manual, it shows you there is 1 wire on both sides. In the diagram, it shows kind of these 1 wire from this side and 1 wire from that side joining together and then going onward to the factory switch. And so when I first started this, I'm like, well, how did they join these 2 wires? And I got to the bottom of it, let me tell you. So started on this side, I removed this piece and I peeled the carpet back to here or so. This harness, which don't mind, like right now I have it fully set up and it's functional. I just was testing it before, mocking it up before hardwiring it. So just judge me if you want, because this harness, which normally goes up and through there and then out through, you know, the hole over there, usually comes behind the ECU and then boop, 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 and then it goes along over here, all the way along, up and over the Humpty and to the other side, and then it goes up, and you can actually see it right there with the white plastic. Back over here we go. So there's the other end of it right there, and then it is at this point somewhere, I think right here-ish, where there's 1 wire with a little crimp where there's 2 wires held together. I mean, 1 wire going this way and then 2 wires going this way, and there's a little crimp holding it all together. So the 2 wires here, this side goes up through this harness into the door, into that mirror, and I think it's the yellow-red wire. And then the other one obviously goes up into all of this good stuff. So I kind of mimicked that, because the 2 wires that you need to add to each mirror, they do the same thing. They have to, so that 1 new wire here has to have continuity with 1 new wire there. And same, okay, both new wires here have to have continuity with, understand? I hope so. So basically I added 2 more wires here that are 1 with 2 and 1 with 2, and in my case they're just there's just 2 wires right here. So I'm gonna show you kind of in detail, if I can, the situation with the wiring. It looks complicated, but it's not so bad. So this, see this branch? I'm gonna back up. That is for what I showed you already. This also goes to the brake lights and probably the fuel pump, stuff like that. That's why there's all these wires. So some of the wires, of 3 wires, I guess, come from the driver's door harness, and they loop up here, right? Now hold that thought. And 2 of them that I added, they go down here where they Y, and then 1 wire comes back up here, or they T, whatever you want to say. So anyways, now this bulk of wires right here splits off. These ones are probably for the brake lights and the fuel pump and all that stuff. And this is the bunch of wires. I think there's 9 wires maybe that now go to the switch. And it's all the same wires from factory, just 2 more. Those 2 wires, you know, 2 wires are here, 2 wires on the other side. And then, like I said, it turns 4 wires, I'll say, goes to 2 wires. And those 2 wires are added here. So, as far as the colors and all that stuff, well, I just mixed these wires all around however I needed. I just followed the diagram, which I will post a picture of or a link to and it doesn't, the colors are so far off anyways with all the different diagrams, where I have seen some that do tell you about the colors, but they didn't match up anyways. One thing to note is that this connector is, this connector is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pin connector. And in the diagrams that I found, they only mentioned 1, 2, 3. They mentioned the number of wires as if that was how many pins it was, and that was a little bit confusing at first. This relay, super rare. Good luck finding another one if you ever messed it up. And I have one for sale if you want it. Super rare. I thought I messed mine up once. So following the wiring diagram is not so bad, but a little bit confusing. You'd always mock your stuff up like this. But I have it working so that I have proper up and down function, left and right function on both mirrors. And look at how this is. The diagram, I think, was like flipped upside down basically. Maybe it's because JDM land or something. Right or left, backwards, I'm not sure. But I want you to note that on my driver's mirror, I have the full top row filled up and the bottom right is filled up. That's only the bottom right, no other ports. And on the opposing side, it's, I think, same setup. Yep, all on the top and then one on the bottom. But if you, in the diagram where I'll show you, it looks like that, I think. And I followed that the first time around. Or something, and my mirrors were folding opposite of each other. One would fold open, one would fold closed at the same time. Kind of funny. So now, also, I mentioned adding these wires on the door harness, but you're gonna need, like the other side, like this guy right here. This is for the cabin part, the inside part. So this way you have some pins to work with. So like I added 2 pins over there and then lengthen the wire. And obviously 2 pins on this side. And this is a really good time for you to go and figure out why your power locks don't work and your speakers and everything, because these wires always break like this. So if you can find any more decent wires, or ideally if you can find new pins, then you can replace the length of wire, and that would be so nice. So this is very easy to depin as well. With some skill, I suppose. You gotta pop that thing up like it is. So in the end, you can have your 2 extra wires coming from each door, super clean. I don't know why I did this, but real nice and clean, and nobody be able to see anything. So my plan here, fellas, there are a couple wires that go directly to the switch, to the relay. Well, it looks like there's only maybe 1 wire that goes directly to the relay. Anyways, so I'm gonna have to get kind of creative on how I'll make my harness, because I want this to be nice and functional. If it's just one connect, anyway, I'm gonna figure this out. How to make it real clean and finished up looking. Can't show you that yet, I suppose. All right, that's it. Let me show you my car just a little bit. It's clone. EJ8. S2000 steering wheel. Some leather OE SI seats. Everything is SI down to the amber bulbs up in there. The 5 lug. Got this super freaking sweet battery relocation where you can't see any wires regularly. They're all hidden. There's a breaker right here with my wires secretly there. It's a sealed box. There's a seal there. There's a little vent there so that the gases can go out. It's drilled into the channel, the runner frame rail, so that way no water will come back up. I got a bunch of details, lots of stuff. I'm wiring up some sound boom booms right now. It's got a stock Y8 in there. I think that's what the guy said before me. He said it was a Y, maybe it's a Y7. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that's the car. Can you tell if that's a rep lip or an OEM lip? Thin side moldings, them things. No keyhole. No antenna. Maybe that wing's a rep, maybe it's not. All right, getting a little carried away. Hopefully that helps you with your stuffs. Check out the super freaking stealth wiper hose tuck that the guy before me did. I didn't think of it myself. Look at that. So the hose obviously, does its normal hose activity down there, and then comes along the fender. Boom. One of my favorite mods, even though it's real simple. And one more thing, if you didn't know, you can flip this booster upside down and run your vacuum hose like that, for cleanliness. And that's it. Okay. Good luck.